Hi, I'm Annie. My passion has always been the hospitality and entertainment industry. The industry is full of flavor and just bursting with opportunities. I've always been fascinated by the idea of entrepreneurship, but I don't think most people even realize how much work it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. Overall, a word is just a word, and what a person does is more meaningful. In this show, we'll discover the most important entrepreneurial key success factors. This savvy entrepreneur didn't enter a market that already existed. He created new ones or made bets on how current markets would evolve. Today's guest is Mr. Ian Ong. He's the founder and CEO of Our Guest. Welcome, Ian. It's a pleasure to have you on the program today.
Hi, Annie. Thank you for having me on your channel.
The pleasure is ours. We're now at Our Guest SS2 located in Petaling Jaya. Our Guest is a progressive chain of restaurants and bars specializing in the development of affordable quality dining experiences. Ian, today is just going to be a casual chat, so let's just relax, have a glass or two.
Sure.
I've brought a bottle of my regular French wine. It's a fruity and spicy red wine with structured tannins. Hope you like it.
Thank you.
Now, Ian, future-focused strategies always win out over present-focused ones. It is scary to take on, especially when your idea isn't a sure bet. So, what's your story? What drives you to be in the food and beverage industry? Let's share with us what you feel is most valuable to your journey.
Well, my journey is a very unorthodox one. Okay, I'm not supposed to be in the F&B industry. Well, I started off as a person that was actually studying for law.
Wow.
I started my legal studies way back in the 80s, the late 80s. Finished off with the University of London External, which means that the degree actually comes from London, but I don't go there, right? I study everything here. So everything I completed here, I finished my legal studies here in the year 1992. Of which I went on to Malayan University and got my certificate of legal practice in the year of 93. So I've completed my legal studies in 93 at that time.
Okay.
So
and you started your practice, your law, and attached to which law firm?
No, at that time my practice was not really my cup of tea. So at that time I kind of like, I didn't really have a knack for studying too much, but I think I did pretty well in my final year of my part 2 for University of London, and I was actually quite recognized by a lot of colleges, which is around KL and PJ. So they invited me on board to be their lecturer.
Oh, so you became a lecturer?
Yeah, I lectured actually for 8 years.
8 years?
From 93 all the way until the year 2000.
Okay.
So it was generally that time. In fact, a lot of the people that started the colleges down there who were very famous back then, they still retain very close contact with me. So we are still very good friends today.
Oh, I can't picture that. It's a drastic change, huh?
Totally different. Right. So as far as legal things, I mean, lectureships is actually a very good profession, but when you're lectured for 8 years, sometimes I think you need to find something else to do. So that is actually what I went through during that time. I enjoyed it very much. I did a pretty good job, I should say. I produced very, very good results for colleges like Sunway, for Juara Academy, and a few other colleges as well. So after a while, sometimes you have to ponder whether or not that is going to be your profession for the rest of your life, or whether or not you like to take on something else, take on a new challenge.
Okay, right. So what makes you change besides being bored, you know?
Well, at that time, I like socializing, so I would normally visit bars.
With that,
normally it's always like that, right? Normally it's always like that for people who start off in the F&B. I think most of them, they think that is a lot of fun involved in the industry, and so they will take off and try to build something out of it. Sometimes it starts off as a hobby, because I like, everybody loves to own a restaurant or a bar today. But of course, there are a lot of things involved in the business which you need to learn, you need to master before you can actually be a success in that industry.
But without F&B knowledge at all previously, so how do you cope? How do you even start it?
Well, that is the thing. My journey is a very unorthodox one. You see, nobody taught me the right way. So everything that I went into was trial and error. So certain things were very painful for me at the time. Certain things I got right. But there again, when you make a mistake that is almost fatal, it can actually put an end to your F&B career just like that. So that's why it's very, very paramount that we need to do our research. We need to understand the industry and we need to learn fast. And this industry is ever changing, and our learning is perpetual. It never stops.
Yeah, you need to do a lot of planning ahead.
Correct.
And you went into F&B all on your own, or do you have partners with you? You started everything on your own?
Well, normally during that time when you do know nothing about the business, always it is better, you will always feel more safe and secure if you go in with a partner. So I was led to believe at that time by my own feelings. So yes, my first bar, which I actually had way back in Section 8, that is after I stopped lecturing, that is in the year 2000, I think it's end 2000 or early 2001, I started my first bar in Section 8. That is actually near that time was the PJ Hilton around there. So it was more of like a Chinese concept where we have some live band and everything, you know. But
that was the trend at time.
It was one of the trend, but it is not for you to succeed in that itself is a different story. Starting the bar up, of course, it's the easy part, but sustaining it and making a success out of it is a totally different thing altogether.
But that one is solely bar, drinking place. Party place, no food involved.
No, there was actually no food because when I started, it was more about entertainment because it reflected the type of lifestyle that I enjoyed at that time. So that's why I took that up. I didn't think too much about selling food or nothing of that sort.
That time is just like more of a hobby type of thing, not really into a business.
Correct. So every time it was a hobby, it's like I can go to my own place, I can hang out with friends, correct, and have a good time in my own place. Why should I go to another club when I can go to my own place? Well, if we have a thinking like that, sometimes it can be fatal. Yeah, because the place where we start our own business is not supposed to be our playground.
Okay, that was the first outlet you started.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, then after that, how many more outlets do you have?
We had a few more after that. What happens is that this Chinese club live band kind of thing didn't quite take off in Section 8. So what happens is that I conceived an idea where I thought I had a lot of Indian friends at that time. So, okay, why not change it to an Indian dance club,
Yeah, it's a new concept.
So, all right, changed it to an Indian dance club and it fed pretty good at that time. And so, Indian dance club is not a place that I'm going to be every night. So I had to be on a lookout for another place where I wanted to hang out, chill and own. So I was on the lookout for places, and this is where I came across and found a space in Hartamas. And I started my next 2 outlets in Hartamas.
Right, okay, that would be great. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Dr. Suwinsi here. You're watching D&D channel.
I'm William Ong. You are now watching D&D channel.
Hi, I'm Ringo Kao. Now you're watching D&D channel.
Welcome back. Wow, Ian, I see you've ordered us some food. This is amazing.
Well, not only that, Annie, I've also ordered us
this is such a relaxing afternoon.
a house white wine, which I would like you to try. So let me pour you a glass.
Thank you. Hopefully I won't be drunk by the time we finish. Thank you. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Cheers.
This is nice. It's a pleasant wine. Okay, now let's...
Well, ordered us some of the fast-moving items in Uncle Don's. Well, what you see here, this is actually our signature chicken chop that we have here, which is actually grilled. Everything here is actually prepared from our central kitchen.
okay, you've got a central kitchen.
We have a central kitchen where we produce everything along there, and we transport it out to all the outlets.
Okay.
So this, what you see here, this grilled chicken chop is actually marinated with so many herbs and spices that you do not actually need a black pepper sauce that is there for it.
Original taste, yeah.
Just by eating it by itself, it's you should derive very good satisfaction from it.
The fries is a little different now from normal fries?
Yeah, this is actually straight cut American fries, very similar to what you have in McDonald's, but it's just cut differently here.
Okay.
Right, so things like this is also a very, very fast moving item. This is our chef's pizza, where we manufacture the dough from our central kitchen, which is actually a thin crust, and they do the rest down here by having the chili con carne.
Is with meat? Vegetarian?
Yes, no, this is actually this is with meat. Yes.
Okay, right.
Yep.
Oh, and what is this?
This is actually a drinker's favorite. Actually, whenever they have drinks down here, normally this will be one of the first things that they will order.
Okay, it's all covered with cheese. I
It's-
can't see what's in there.
Actually, what is beneath the cheese, you have jalapenos. This is crispy nachos with jalapenos on top.
Okay,
And
I
this
see.
is the signature melted cheese that we are supposed to pair it with.
Interesting. That's the burger.
This is the burger, and our patties are very well known for being very hearty, and it is 100% manufactured. It's fully meat. I mean, there's no additions of any flour. There's nothing of that sort. So whenever you bite into it, you can actually feel that it is 100% meat.
Okay, and I see we have two curries.
Well, this is devil's curry. This has its origins
So it's
from
spicy with the word devils.
it is actually very supposed to be very spicy. It actually comes from Malacca.
Okay.
Right, Portuguese Malaccan dish, and it's supposed to be extremely spicy. But because we are bringing the brand out to KL, we have tempered with the level of spiciness a little bit to suit the KL taste.
Yeah, not many people can take spicy food, I see.
Correct.
Okay, and this one is, I presume, with coconut milk.
No, this one does not have coconut milk.
Oh,
This is
okay.
actually a salted egg seafood.
Okay. The color is from the salted. Okay,
Yeah,
right.
correct. But it's different from the Chinese style because this is a little bit thicker. So this does not flow so much as well as that, and it gives you a more creamy aroma.
Right, so it serves with the rice and the
Correct.
peppers. Right.
This is actually to be eaten with
And
rice.
this one actually catch my eye. What is this?
Well, this is has its origins from the Philippines,
okay.
and we brought it into our menu to signify the fact that one of our co-founders is in fact a Filipino national.
Okay, I
And
see.
so happen it's one of the very fast-moving items here as well.
Right. So what's in here?
Well, this is actually ground pork, and there's a lot of pork cartilage inside. We
okay.
put it into a sizzling plate, and we mix it up with calamansi, and it's good to go.
Right.
You eat it
so
with rice
You're
normally.
supposed to mix the.
Yeah, you're
egg.
supposed to mix it up and put it onto the rice, or you can just eat it just like that.
Right.
Yeah. Would
Would you like
try?
to do the honor? Right. So you mix it all up,
Mix it
and
all.
we just try. Right. Okay. I'm just wanna try this. It's very unique. It's a little spicy, sour.
Yep. This is actually something which we got Malaysians to appreciate. So I think we have succeeded in doing that.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you eat this on its own, or you pair it with rice?
You
as
can
well?
actually have it on your own. You can have it with garlic bread. You can also pair it with rice.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I've been eyeing on that chili. What is that?
Okay, this chili here actually is our homemade chili sauce.
Okay.
Right, it is actually made out of 40 ingredients.
Wow.
Right, so we pound everything and we build everything from scratch from the central kitchen. And this is actually the final product. And today, a lot of people they enjoy this this because
Okay, I see only 2 chili there. So it's medium spicy or?
it's not that spicy, but it's not that
Okay,
mild
sorry,
either.
I'm just gonna try the
Yeah,
chili.
just try it. It actually goes very well with fried stuff. For example, this pigs in a
right.
blanket here pairs off very well with homemade
good.
chilies.
It's really nice. Wow. Okay, like this is spicy. Okay, so from PJ you move on to Hartamas.
Yes.
So how many outlets have you got in Hartamas?
Well, in Hartamas, like we have mentioned that I do not longer patronize the Indian bars and everything. So I decided to continue with the entertainment industry, and I decided to open one so that I can hang out there by myself. So in Hartamas itself, I had 2. One was actually called High Spirits, which was opened in 2006. and a Chinese live band, which is very similar to the first one which I opened. Further down the road, which was opened in 2007. Right? So at that time, these two bars were doing pretty good, and I had a knack for playing music, so I went into DJing for a while. So
you yourself DJ?
Yeah, I DJed for a while. I fell in love with it. Downloaded music by myself, remixed it, and that's when I decided that I wanted to have a club of my own. So this is when what happens in 2010. We went down to Asian Heritage Row.
Asian Heritage Row, yeah.
And we took on a empty spot down there, and we launched a club called Desire.
Desire, okay,
Yep.
right. So how was it?
Well, during that time,
from pub to club.
yes, from pub to club. That was very reminiscent of what I like to do at pub. So during that time, of course, what we want is just to party, you know, and we're happy when we have a good time. But I would say this, that as far as the business is concerned, I think it's very important for us to look at the legality aspect of it. For example, in Desire, the business was good, but business comes predominantly after 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the morning.
Late crowd.
So it's like 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the morning.
Party crowd is always late crowd, yeah.
At certain times, we were given the license to do until 5 a.m. because that was gazetted as a tourist zone. So at certain times, they would give us the license to do that,
Right,
but not
okay.
all the time.
Not all the
But sometimes, whenever we want to press our luck and we want to do that in the long term, which is actually crashing against what the guidelines that the Lord has given to us, it is not a long-term sustainable business.
Right, okay, so you have how many brands now? 1, 2, 3,
And
4?
we have the Indian bar. So at that time, we had 4.
4,
Right.
okay. Any more after that?
After that, that's when my break came. I decided that it's very, very tiring to oversee these kind of things, especially I never had the chance to look even at the sun. That's because when I was in Desire, and we had another club upstairs called Quinte, which was specializing in house music. We would go on until maybe 10 o'clock in the morning.
Your hours are all upside
Yeah,
down,
it's
so you don't see the sun.
Yeah, totally upside down. So 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 in the morning, I will go back, I will sleep, I will wake up at maybe 5 p.m., 6 p.m. and my day starts at 8 p.m. at night.
Oh, that is so tiring.
Correct. Starts off back at high spirits, Fahrenheit, and then Desire.
You move
Quinte.
from one to the other.
One to the other. So after 2 years, that became a very tiring thing to do.
Right, okay. So you're always there on your own.
I think at that time, yes, I was practically there almost every day.
That
every
is
day
more
for-
like your home, I guess, not second home. It's more like your home.
It was actually my home. so,
Right.
so that was actually very, very tiring, and that is a time where I was really looking into branching off into F&B, where we serve to customers good food.
But overall, you had a good run.
I had a good run.
Yeah, you had good fun.
Sometimes we had good fun, but also depending on our luck. Like I say, we are not exactly doing things that are legal, but that's why I say today I'm a strong proponent of doing things the right way, right? Legally, as far as everything is concerned. Because if we decide to cut corners, it's not going to last too long.
Right, that's true, that's true. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Roger here, and you're now watching the D&D channel.
Hi everybody, I'm Catchy. You're now watching D&D channel.
Hi, I'm Alex Smith Wong.
Hi, I'm Alex Chong.
You are now watching a D&D channel.
Welcome back. So Ian, so from the last was in Desire,
Yeah.
correct? So for you started in year 2000, that was in PJ.
Correct.
So all the way to Asian Heritage Show, you had a good 10-year run.
Asian Heritage Show, yes, we had a
Yeah.
10-year run.
10-year run overall.
Yeah. And of course, when Desire was launched in 2010, like I say, we were very, very hectic. We were running at 4 places at once. So after 2 years of that kind of lifestyle, it has taken a toll on my health and a lot of time which I don't seem to have anymore. So I decided that at that time it's more sustainable if we come up with a business model that focuses on selling alcoholic drinks, but also primarily focusing on food. And this is why in 2012 I started the brand called Dukes and Duchess, which is a gastro bar in Taman Tun. So that is where the first time I tried to sell food to people.
So you focus more on food.
Yes.
Right,
So,
okay.
of course, we do have our challenges down there where you have chefs that come inside. The food is good, but they don't stay with you for very long. So I guess this is a problem with a lot of people trying to excel in this industry.
That's true.
So sometimes we need a little bit of luck to find the right person as well. And so happened one day, I was having a drink in Changkat. This is where I met Don Daniel. He's actually the co-founder of Uncle Don's himself, and today we are still partners today. So I met him in Changkat just like that on a leisurely night out, and from there we got to know him, and we started this brand Uncle Don's in 2015.
Don Daniel. So Uncle Don is named after him.
Well, he looks quite elderly, so everybody calls him Uncle, and he likes to be called Uncle. And his name is Don Daniel, so Uncle Don.
That's how the name come about. Okay, interesting.
So we were always thinking that Uncle Don it sounds very family oriented. It doesn't sound too much like you're selling alcohol. So I thought that it was actually a very nice name to go on.
Okay, that's good. So from Dukes and Duchess, how long have you run Dukes and Duchess before you changed to Uncle Don?
Dukes and Duchess, we didn't change it. It is still running today. But I learned the tricks of the trade as far as the kitchen is concerned, and everything that I pieced it together from what I learned from the last 10 years and everything into Dukes and Duchess. The only thing which I couldn't conquer was the kitchen. So this is where Uncle Don himself came inside when I got to know him. He filled in the missing piece for me.
Right. Okay. Right. So when did Uncle Don start?
We started Uncle Don's in SS2 on September 11, 2015.
September 11. Okay,
11,
what an anniversary date to remember.
So that was the day we actually launched it here.
Okay.
And during that time, of course, we were working ridiculously hard. All the partners were, they had their hands full, and we were actually an instant success during that time, given the price range that we were selling, the quality of the food that we were giving out, and for what we get here. It's just simply a good bang for the buck.
Okay, right. So from SS2 is the first outlet. So from SS2 on, how many more outlets have you opened since?
Well, until today we have 21 outlets.
21 outlets.
Yeah,
okay.
we have 22, 23, 24 and 25 in the pipeline. So we hope to end this year with maybe about 28. I think we were done very well if we have 30.
28. In the Chinese saying
very
the
good number.
Very good number. Okay. Right. So you mentioned earlier central kitchen. So all the food are all supplied by the central kitchen.
Yes. We have actually moved on to food manufacturing. We produce our own stuff.
That's interesting.
We are also looking into the export market. We are applying for our e-permits right now because I think for me, I'm not just going to be restricted to outlets and running outlets, but I think more on a bigger scale what we can actually do for the country, export-wise, bringing the brand overseas. Everything is good for us Malaysians. If that is the case. Yeah.
21 outlets, all in Klang Valley?
No, we have a couple which we have started in Penang, we started in Ipoh, we are now doing one in Kuantan, we have one in Seramban. So Klang Valley, we are not really looking to expand anymore within Klang Valley because we don't want to self-cannibalize. But if there is still a place that comes out which we believe that is good, we will go ahead with it.
Okay.
So there's no restrictions.
Right. So Uncle Don is it's more of a franchise kind of
well, it is right now. We license it out to licensees, and we teach them along the way based on whatever we learn, so that they do not make the same mistakes as we do last time. So all of them that come inside, they do not have any experience in F&B. Most of them don't, but they still do pretty much very well in the business right now.
Okay. Right. So, but the central kitchen supply to outstation as well. So
yes, we do.
Everything by the central kitchen.
Everything is by the central kitchen, and we are looking at the central kitchen to be the rising star because we capitalize on economics of scale. Central kitchen is not something that is easy to do, but it's very, very difficult. It's very, very tedious. You need to ensure that your inventories are well done, but it's very rewarding.
Right. Okay. So you are actually not only in the food and beverage industry. You're doing manufacturing as
Yes,
well now.
yeah, we are branching out into different areas of F&B because we want to ensure that we have everything under one roof.
Any plans to go overseas with not only supply, but Uncle Don's moving out of Malaysia?
We are already trademark registered in a few countries. We have done our thing. We are trademark registered in Singapore, Thailand, Australia, China, and a few more countries to come. So we already have master franchisees. They're ready, but that was just before the COVID pandemic.
Exactly, yeah.
So everything has taken a halt at this point in time, but we hope to reinvigorate whatever we have discussed before the COVID came around.
Besides this, what is coming up for you in the near future? Anything else other than...
Well, we are developing our own apps, our own delivery program, because we believe that in this digital age, a lot of people are getting lazy. They want to, they want at a click of a button, and food will just come. Especially if it's a rainy day, they don't want to go out. So I think it's good that we start it off. Just like the way we start the central kitchen, we want to change this delivery of food into something which is big, and we want to stand alone. We do not want to share a platform whereby people may be looking for our product, click on it, and end up buying another pizza. So that's the main thing that we are looking at.
Okay, that's very good. All right, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Hello， 大家好，我是德光。你们现在正在收看的是 D&D Channel。Cheers。
Hi, I'm Ian Ong. You are now watching D&D Channel.
大家好，我係潘秀燕，我係潘秀芝。
我係女愛瓊姑。
You're watching
D&D Channel。
Welcome back. So Ian, besides work, what are your outside interests? What do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun? Well, I'm very much into fitness. I work out a lot. I go running a lot. And apart from that, I think I like to travel, but my time is very restricted due to my work schedule today.
Yeah, now with the pandemic, you can't travel as well. Okay, right. The food and beverage industry is a bigger one that constantly changes and evolves, and therefore can be very challenging to manage. What are your opinions on this?
Well, of course, it's going to be very, very challenging because in the F&B, anything can actually crop up. Things that we do not foresee can actually pop up at any time. In fact, even for seasoned veterans who are in the food and beverage, they also face their challenges. But every challenge, there is also a hurdle to surmount. But how are we going to get over those hurdles also depends on the foundation or how you build a business. Like for example, your legality of things. Are you using? Are you operating your restaurant within the stipulated hours? Are you using illegal staff? All this kind of stuff is a telling factor. So we need to get our foundation right so that we are on the right path. And once we are on the right path, then we are able to plot how are we going to go to pivot our business to make sure that we are able to surmount any hurdles that actually confront us.
It's not easy to start a business, right?
Definitely.
With the license application and hiring staff.
Well, the license application and everything is the easy part. Recruitment is something that I think most F&B people will have a problem with, especially if you want to start your business and have 20 staff. That's going to be a sticky point for most business owners.
Right, okay. Any advice for young entrepreneurs, young entrants into the market?
Well, if they really, really want to make this their profession, read about it, learn a little bit. Today, when we started last time, they do not have the wealth of knowledge that you can actually click on a mouse today and you can read about it on the internet. We don't have that last time. But today, you can read about it. They won't write everything that you are supposed to know, but at least you can pick up a good 60% of the knowledge down there. You can get it and you can actually put it to good use. So do not be afraid. Follow your heart, follow your dreams. work hard at it. I mean, this is not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's going to take some time before we get everything right, and embrace competition. You know, a lot of restaurant owners or bar owners, I see that they get very frightened when they see a big brand coming down next to them, and they start to shake. It shouldn't be like this, because every person starts small, unless of course you inherited a business, that is. So everybody starts small, and it is actually through our perseverance and what we do and our hard work that changes from us being a small one into intermediate and into a person that is actually successful.
You just got to start somewhere.
Everybody has to start somewhere.
Right. So as things develop, we've asked people in the food industry, especially the food industry, to share what they're seeing in their communities, how they've been affected, and how they're responding to the financial and the pandemic crisis.
I think this for us in the F&B industry, we are very badly hit by this. I mean, if the government is going to turn around and say, look, you can't open your shop, then that's it, you know. I mean, of course we can still do deliveries and everything, but the kind of business that we are in, we can do deliveries to a certain extent, but well, we serve so many different things that a lot of our items are not suited for delivery. You know, not suited for delivery as in delivery per se, that is your main business. So we are not like just a standalone pizza shop where, okay, we're just doing delivery pizzas. No, because we give the ambience, we give the dining experience. So we were, of course, very badly hit by this.
The food quality also changes, I realize, when you order delivery.
Definitely. Sometimes they don't pick it up on time, or you know, and the way they ride the bike, sometimes you know, it gets thrown all over the place. So a lot of things, there are a lot of other factors that come into play whenever these deliveries are. That's why I prefer to do delivery by myself.
Okay. Right, during MCO, did you do any deliveries, or were you totally closed?
No, we did our own deliveries, because when we were closed, we had so many staff loitering around. So we tried to use them, pick up a motorbike, get a car, and we tried to do our own deliveries, apart from, of course, using Grab and Foodpanda and everything. So we decided to take the initiative to go ahead and just deliver by ourselves, so that our staff that are actually redundant have got something to do during the period of time.
Right. Entrepreneurs can come from humble beginnings, so long as you're willing to work hard, commit to your ideas, and take the risks necessary to see those ideas become reality. Thank you, Ian. Thank you for being on the program today.
Thank you so much for having me on your channel, Annie.
You're most welcome. Thank you for watching Our Guest. I'll see you in the next episode. In the 90s, HVD television production was given the privilege to monopolize the RTM slots and recorded a profit of 28 million ringgit in 1997. HVD had a brief period of promise, had produced some immense talents, and many superstars were born and bred here too. In the coming episode, we have the fabulous three, Datin Angeline Phua, Kelly Phua, and I King.
其實咧，嗰時我讀緊書嘅時候咧，就有星探。我嗰時記得我16歲，咁我喺 Bukit Bintang 嗰度經過咧 shopping， 有咗朋友，好多人啊，好多人嘅嗰度係一個 in place 嚟嘅，一定要去行嘅。咁我就有個星探咧，就叫咗我拍廣告，咁我就16歲啦，你知啦，咁細個驚㗎嘛。
我哋咧就開始咧就係我係行 show 嘅，行 catwalk 嘅。
哦 ，OK，
嗰陣時係仲好細啊，跟住咧我就行好多 show， 間唔中咧就有拍下廣告。以前讀書嘅時候咧，中學我好中意參加學校嗰啲舞台劇嘅 stage play 嘅，係啦，咁我好中意演戲嘅。咁我就睇到以前咧有間叫山水影視製作公司啦，嗰時候都
哇！你山水年代舊啊，
真係跟住先咧未入到。
當時咧，我哋公司有個 notice board 咧，就每個 artist 有個名，
即係所有嘅 artist 嘅名貼晒喺度，
貼晒喺好大張好大張嘅，跟住有30人嘅，每一日咧，佢就會有 PA 上去剔咯。譬如你接咗呢部戲咧，你有幾多場戲啊？喺邊度啊？咁啊 PA 每朝早就會剔，將你嘅名剔。
即係我哋嘅 schedule，artist 所有 artist 嘅 schedule 喺晒嗰度。
咁如果時光倒流，你哋會唔會再選擇入翻呢個行業咧？
時光倒流啊，我會。 因為我其實幾中意拍戲，幾中意。
所以如果再俾我時光倒流嘅話，我諗我會改變咁嘅態度咯。我會好俾心機咁去揣摩每個角色，我會希望做到每一部戲係做得好好咯。
我就係爭一樣嘢嘅啫，即係我曾經攞過最佳女配角啦，我係爭女主角未攞過。